Why are hotel credit cards so good? What's up guys, Luke here from Luke's Points and Miles, and today I want to talk a little bit about my hotel credit card strategy over the next couple of years. Wait, couple of years? Yes, you heard that right. I like to plan my travel out as far in the future as possible, and I know that's not everyone's bag, but let me explain what I actually mean by plan. See, planning for me is actually pretty vague. I don't mean I want to stay at the Ritz-Carlton on 7 Mile Beach on St. Patrick's Day. It's more like I want to go to the Caribbean in March. See, my travel is a lot different than most people's because I don't really need to be too specific. Grand Cayman the first week of March, or Aruba as close to my anniversary as possible. Another example is I want to go to Central or Eastern Europe in October. But see, I don't care if that's Krakow, Poland on October 1st or Belgrade, Serbia for Halloween. I have to work around a lot of different things like school and work schedules, so flexibility follows suit with my hotel credit card strategy. See, I don't have a crippling loyalty towards any one hotel program, although I do get most of my value from using American Express, Hilton credit cards. I'm also not one of those people that say, I don't care about the room, I'm out being the coolest tourist every day anyway. I do have stays like that where all I do is shower and sleep in the room and I'm running around the whole time, but in my advanced age, I've stopped pretending that I don't like to be pampered. I've done my time in the military, winter backpacking and all that tough guy stuff. I want some luxury most of the time. And what I mean by that is balconies, pools, larger rooms, perks and benefits, and most of all, cost effectiveness. I very rarely pay cash for hotel rooms, but that's because most of the time they cost too much. I completely understand when someone says they don't mind flying in economy, but I have to have a nice room for most of my trips. Location is definitely the biggest factor, but I also want to have other things that I value. I have a fun game to see how many hotel rooms can I stay in that are actually larger than the house I grew up in. For reference, I grew up in a sub 900 square foot home with 1 bathroom. Not complaining here, guys, just pointing out the things that motivate me in part of this travel game. Remember, I also used to live on a ship. So what's my hotel credit card strategy? Well, here's the deal with hotel credit cards. For whatever reason, so many of them are legit keeper cards, meaning that as long as you travel, you'll more than likely get more value than the annual fee of the card, with very little effort, besides staying at hotels. We'll go over the cards I'm going to be using for 2025 and 2026, and I'll mention how they provide more value than what they cost and why I have each of these cards. Let's start with a card that I just hit the sign-up bonus on. Again, the Hilton Amex Aspire card. Now, this card is no stranger to YouTube, so I'm not going to do a complete review. If you are looking for Aspire card videos, I have several of them on my channel. I keep the Aspire for the following reasons. It provides top-tier Hilton Diamond status. I've talked over and over about how much value that provides, and I've even broken it down to very specific values of just the food and beverage credit. The card is $550 annually, and besides the diamond status, it grants the user a $200 airline credit, which I can easily liquidate, and a $199 clear credit. Now, I don't value that at full value, but remember, I need at least 2 clear memberships. Well, I guess I don't need them, but I do like their service, so I like the benefit. The card also grants the user $400 in Hilton Resorts credits that can be used for anything from the room rate to fruity drinks at the pool. I've heard folks mention that they don't stay at resorts, and I understand, but I do, and I don't have a problem liquidating this credit twice a year, easy. So if you're scoring at home, that's 2 easy credits. I can get $600 of value without really any effort. The card also provides a free night certificate every single year. I have the ability to use this for some pretty expensive properties, so I don't have a problem valuing this at well over $500 on the conservative side. So after paying $550, I easily double that in just normal every year traveling. As I mentioned earlier, I don't pay for many stays, but if I did, this card would earn 34 times Hilton Honors points on paid stays, which I think is pretty good. Now, guys, here is where I mention without shame, that I will include my personal referral links for these cards in the description below. Referral links help me offer you mostly sponsor-free content, and they help me keep this channel up and running. So make sure the offers are competitive. Thank you in advance. The Hilton Honors Aspire card is so powerful, it makes sense for hardcore users to hold more than one. I think every Hilton card is good to get at least for the bonus, and I will generally have either the Hilton Honors card or the Hilton Surpass card upgraded to a second Aspire. Again, I travel, so it's really easy for me to get full value for these credits, especially because I can naturally stay at a Hilton resort in both the first and the second half of the year. So enough about Hilton. Another card that is much more low-key that I hold is the IHG One Rewards Premier Business Card. Now, before you say something about this being a business card, it's almost the same as the consumer card, and the reasons for using and keeping them are exactly the same. This $99 annual fee card will get you a free night certificate for a room up to 40,000 IHG points, and that can also be topped off if you need more points for that night. I'm using this one for a night at the Hotel Indigo in Denver later this month to watch Luka and LeBron play the Nuggets. That room with a refundable rate would have cost us $255 for just one night. Not a bad card at all, but my favorite benefit is card holders get a fourth night free on awards days. That seems to come in handy a lot more so than the fifth night free with Marriott or Hilton, especially at some of the sweet spots like the Seafire Resort and Grand Cayman. The more I dive into IHG, the more value I see. It's not a card I would really spend on, but I also want to mention that the card grants the user platinum status, which I'm sure at some point might be of some benefit at one of the higher end properties. Also, Holiday Inn resorts, while they don't get much attention, they really do have a place in some folks' redemption game. And it's also an option when you need an airport night. My latest acquisition is the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant, and I'm really excited about this one. This is Amex's premium offering for Marriott Bonvoy, and it comes with a premium $650 annual fee, making it the most expensive hotel credit card known to man. But it's also a keeper card. It comes with a strange $300 dining credit broken up into $25 monthly credits. They're easy to use, so I don't want to complain too much. I can really just sum up the rest of the benefits with this: Marriott Platinum status and an 85,000 point free night certificate after your first year. That way more than covers that massive $650 annual fee, especially if you're somebody who eats food every month. Now, I got this card basically for future travel. I don't even plan on staying at Marriott's in 2025. But in 2026, I'm going to be moving them up into a prime spot, and I'm really going to try to learn about the Bonvoy properties and the program. I've stayed at Ritz-Carlton properties, and I think that's where I want to treat my wife next year. But I've also had at least one unpleasant experience with Marriott, and that really turned me off with them, but I don't want that one bad day to keep me from all this value. Marriott also has my best option to stay at Riverfront Cincinnati for any Bengals night games. They have an affordable 35,000 point night AC right in the middle of the kind of party tailgate area. And I'm even considering adding the Amex Business Marriott card to this setup for a 35,000 point free night certificate and to kind of add those extra elite night credits. I'll be making some more videos on the Marriott program as soon as I start gaining more experience there, so be on the lookout for that. My strategy with Marriott is to slowly build up my points for a largish redemption in 2026. I'm thinking about a high-end property in Europe or maybe Asia. Stay tuned for that. So guys, basically I don't mind spending what I think is a lot of money on hotel credit cards, but that's because I stay at hotels. I travel fairly often, even though I keep thinking I'll be traveling less, basically constantly wrong about that. I also don't stay at Airbnbs. I just prefer full service, higher end hotels because I feel as long as I can easily take advantage of the credits and benefits of these higher end cards, then there's a real net profit because, well, hey, I'm going to be traveling regardless of how I pay for it. I have a question for you guys. Which properties do you prefer? Which credit cards do you think offer the most value? Oh, and before you ask, I don't need a Hyatt card to stay at a $100 Hyatt house every year. Plus, every other Chase card in existence earns better than a Hyatt card. Sorry guys, but I'm not even joking. Guys, if you want more information on any of these cards, check out my referrals in the description below. And if you have used my links in the past, I sincerely appreciate it. If you stayed around all the way to the end, I appreciate it. And I want to thank every single one of you.